Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, it has been a long time, I know, I'm sorry, but I am back and better than ever, kind of. So, I'm here today to review one of the most hyped superhero films of all time, so let's do this. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you Justice League, and Justice League is the superhero team-up for DC Comics. It is their version of the Avengers. You got Batman, you got Wonder Woman, you got the Flash, you got Cyborg, you got Aquaman, who is the best player in Injustice, I don't care what anybody says. They gotta work together, and they gotta start solving stuff. So at first, watching this film, I had to say, it's good, and it's a good almost reboot, but not really, of the DCEU, because it's kind of been a mixed bag prior to this. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's good. It's good, and I'm happy about that. It's just good. But then I thought about it more, and as I was watching it, I was like, this is awesome. I really like this film, guys. It has its flaws, but I was really happy with the film itself. Ben Affleck, they really show him as a humanized Batman in this, and that made me happy. We have Gal Gadot, she's back as Wonder Woman, and she is great. So we're introducing some new teammates. We got Aquaman. Aquaman's really cool. He's talks to fish, but not in this film. We're not going to see him ride a seahorse in this film. It's just one of those fan-fueled rides where, you know this film is for the fans, and the fans should hopefully enjoy it. And I did. Everything they basically said is DC is all about how it is demigods, and that is really the theme. And so we gotta have demigod-level destruction. A lot of stuff gets blown up in this movie. It's got that Zack Snyder feel. Now, if you guys don't know, there was a tragedy in Zack Snyder's family, so he had to stop midway through production. Joss Whedon from the Avengers picked up the film from there. And you can tell where the incision marks. I have to say that's one thing that I gotta nitpick a little bit, is you can see the incision marks, at least from me, who's seen a lot of Joss Whedon's work, or actually all of Joss Whedon's work, and who's seen Zack Snyder's body of work. You can definitely see the difference, and it's very apparent. And if I were the Warner Brothers, I would have picked somebody probably a little bit closer to Zack Snyder's style, so it blends together better. So that being said, though, it worked, though, in a weird way as a balance, where you get this kind of comedy but serious dialogue with Joss Whedon, and then the action is just so dynamically filmed with Zack Snyder. And it wasn't overly shaky cam like Man of Steel. It wasn't overly just absurd like Man of Steel. And it worked as a whole. This actually made me say I'm more excited about the DCEU than I am the MCU. I know, as we speak, there are people who are sending me death threats from Marvel, but I still think this film is really good, and it made me happy in that sense. I do think that the plot points were a little bit oversimplified. Steppenwolf was an awful villain. The villain Steppenwolf, ultimately his motivation is, I'm a bad guy, I gotta blow up the world, I guess. The plot in that sense felt really weak, and if they're going to do a Justice League 2, which they are, they really gotta step up the story. And the story is not really that prevalent in this one, because you care more about the team uniting. When the team was on screen, the Justice League, it was fantastic. Anytime it was anything else, it just felt tacked on and kind of pointless. The kind of pointless feeling I had to get over, but it wasn't enough to make me say, this movie sucks. Absolutely terrible, horrible, excuse me, I'm gonna go watch The Mummy because that's clearly better. It was not like that. It was just a fun, popcorn event, things exploding kind of movie, and I still cared about the characters. Wonder Woman is so cool. I never got to film my review of Wonder Woman, but if you guys haven't seen my Stardust account, Wonder Woman was pretty good. It was mostly all right. This film, to me, is now the best film in the DCEU. So I think this is more the right direction. And Wonder Woman, every step of the way, continues to become more and more my favorite. But Ben Affleck is absolutely spectacular. I just can't praise a lot of these elements. Seriously, I can't praise a lot of these elements of the film enough. There are just a couple things that they need to kind of work on and chisel a bit and fine-tune it, and it's going to be something spectacular. It has this very larger-than-life epic scale, and it just needs to have a little bit of fine tweaks. But I still think it's really good. I go back and watch this multiple times. It's fun. It doesn't have that majestic scale that the Avengers had, where it was just that wow factor, but that's mostly because we've already seen a superhero team now on screen multiple times. So it's technically old hat, as weird as it is to say, but it still works. And I think all in all, you need to go watch this because it's fun. If you want to restore your faith in the DCEU, this film is worth your money. So I have to say, Justice League, thankfully, is big screen worthy. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, what did you think of Justice League? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? I really hope so. Don't forget to like and subscribe, got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.